Instagram. All right, awesome. What's going on Facebook? What's going on Instagram? Facebook, just so you know, I'm going to be talking to you right here. And as you know, Arabella's got our Instagram live going right there. So it's actually above you. So when I'm looking this way, I'm talking with you. And when I'm looking that way, I'm talking with Instagram. Right now is a great time for you to share. We're live. This is Facebook Live Friday, also known as Instagram Live Friday. Don't want to leave you out. And I'm reading a riddle here. Kevin gave me a riddle, Kevin Brown, just before we went live. He gave me a riddle to look at, and I think I know the answer. But I'll be back, Kevin, because I don't actually think there's a question here. It's just a statement. So we'll be there with Kevin. Anyway, this is Facebook Live Friday, and we are talking about the cost. I've got notes here, and I've got notes here. We're talking about the cost of renting versus buying. I'm sure you guys are wondering what's behind me. Where am I? Well, I'm in the West 141 Sales Center for the new Bozzuto project that's going up on West Street. If you're curious, 23 condo units, absolutely gorgeous, stunning building. It's actively being built right now. Bozzuto hired me to step in and sell the building for them. So if you want a tour, if you want to check it out, if you want to see what we're doing, call me, message me, and we'll get you here if you want to live in downtown Annapolis on West Street in a brand new condo. Hey, Riley White, thanks for the hearts. Thanks for the likes, guys. So, Autumn, how's it going? Guys, make sure that you are liking and hearting and sharing this feed now, because we are going to jump in and talk about the cost of renting versus buying. And the thing about it is, you know, a lot of times people don't realize that there really is a cost to these things, right? Whether you're I'd say more on the rental side. On the rental side, people feel typically that there's not really a cost to rent compared to the cost to buy. And I got to tell you, I'm going to just really firmly disagree. And in fact, the numbers say the same, because people think most of the time that if I'm renting, I'm saving money. It's important to understand whether you're renting or buying, you are always spending money and you're paying a mortgage. It always works that way, unless the home's paid off, obviously. Typically, that's not the case. But almost always it works that you're paying a mortgage. You're just paying someone else's mortgage. So if you're a homeowner, you probably know there's some real benefits to paying down your mortgage. And if you're a renter, you're probably not experiencing those benefits. Maybe that's another Facebook Live Friday, the benefits of renting versus the benefits of buying, because there are some benefits to renting too, depending on what you're doing with your money. But here's our notes for the day, and we're going to dive into this thing. So the first question is, I guess, why don't renters buy, right? What's that typical reason for renters not actually buying? Why do they say, look, I want to rent, I don't want to buy right now? Well, the average the average person, the reason they decide to rent, and there's always that outlier, right? There's always the outlier with the mindset that's, you know, if I rent my personal home, I have additional funds that I can then move into investment properties and I can build a real estate portfolio. But the fact is, most people are not doing that. Most renters are just renting because they think they're saving money. That's not really the case. So here's the proof. They think they're saving money, that's one reason, and they think it costs too much to get into a home, that's a second reason. I gotta be honest with you, both those reasons are completely false. Here's why they're false. First, you think you're saving money by paying monthly rent versus paying a mortgage. But the truth is, again, you're always paying a mortgage. It's just someone else's mortgage. You think you're saving money every single month because you don't have that mortgage bill going to you. You know, that's a big investment people look at it as, and they say, well, I'll just rent. I'll pay $1,100 a month. The thing that I'll tell you guys is that you can pay $1,100 a month and own, or you can pay $1,100 a month and rent. Either way, you're going to pay $1,100 a month. So it's important to get with a good real estate agent that can show you what's available for that price point. And I'm going to share with you the next step to that, because it's more than just a good real estate agent. It's really getting your hands on a good mortgage professional. So I'll share some of that. But the second reason that I find that people decide, hey, look, I'm just going to rent, I'm not going to buy, they don't think they have the money. And I don't mean the monthly money, I mean the down payment money, because everyone in their mind's thinking, man, I need 20% down, 20% down. So here's the kicker. According to businessinsider.com, The median home price in 2018 in the United States was $280,000. So according to BusinessInsider.com, the median home price in the United States was $280,000. So here's the problem. Most people think they need 20% down. So 280 grand, 20%, that's $56,000. That is a daunting amount of money for the average person. So then you flip to, well, what other option do I have? Well, if you have a good mortgage professional, right, then they've already told you there are other options. It doesn't have to be 5%. You can, or 20%. It can be 5%. So if you did 5% down, that 56 just dropped to $14,000. Okay, someone's saying, well, Phil, I still don't have $14,000. That's insane. Well, there's 3.5% options. That 56,000 with 20% down can drop to 9,800. Someone says, I don't have 9,800. 3% is another option. That changes it to 8,400. And the craziest part about this is right now, guess what's back? 0% down loans. So you literally could buy a house with no money down. Here's a big kicker though. Somebody's going to say, well, Phil, isn't there closing cost? I don't have money for a down payment. I don't have money for closing costs. Well, you want to build your financial portfolio, but that's a whole different conversation. Here's the next thing you want to understand, that when you put in an offer, if you have a good agent, they can get your closing costs paid by the seller. So imagine you walk into this with 5, 3.5, 3, or even 0% down, and all your closing costs is paid by the seller. Now you just bought a home for nothing. No overall initial investment. So why wouldn't you buy over rent? Now, remember I told you need a good real estate agent. I know a guy. So you need a good real estate agent, but you also need a really good mortgage broker. So here's a couple: Brandon Floor and Tiffany Kaufman with First Financial. Brandon Floor and Tiffany Kaufman at First Financial do an incredible job. We work with them all the time. You can definitely reach out to them. Brandon, Tiffany, this would be a great one for you guys to comment on and put your information. Another two great mortgage professionals, Dan Tinnen or Matt Nader over at First Home. Dan Tinnen or Matt Nader over at First Home. They do a fantastic job. These are people that I feel comfortable telling you about, right? Another person, David Rossiello at Prosperity. So these are, whether it's Brandon and Tiffany, Dan or Matt, or maybe David, whichever one you're going with, guys, I feel comfortable telling you that these folks will want to, number one, take care of you, and number two, they'll make sure that you're getting the best product that suits you, right? That's going to help you achieve your home buying goal. But I want you to know this: Pulsenomics. Pulsenomics just did this. They got all the stats together here, and this is crazy. Historically, the percent, because when you're buying a home, guys, or you're renting a home, there's something that gets factored in, and it's your debt to income ratio, right? So it's all about the percentage of income you need in order to afford a home. So whether you're renting or whether you're buying, it does not matter. If you're renting or you're buying, there is going to be a percentage of your monthly income needed in order to afford your rent or afford your purchase. So here it is. Historically, those numbers sit like this. Historically, it's 25.8% of your income is needed in order to rent. Now, people think, well, okay, 25.8% of my income is needed in order to rent, so it must be a situation where it's more in order to buy. Historically, it's not. Historically, you need 21.1% of your income to buy. Again, it's cheaper to buy than rent, historically. But what about right now? What about today? This is great. These numbers are staggering. Today, in order to rent, on average, you need 27.7% of your income. Rental prices have increased. It's costing more to rent than it is to buy. So 27.7% of your income is needed in order to rent today. In order to buy, you probably won't believe this, but it's the truth, 17.5% of your monthly income is needed in order to buy. So you can buy with no money down. You can buy with no money out of pocket. You can buy with only spending 17.5% of your income. That's 10.2% of your monthly income, or less, 10.2% less than renting of your monthly income. Again, the question becomes, why in the world would you rent when you can buy? Next step is simple. Get with one of these mortgage lenders that I told you about. get with us so that we can help you on the purchase side. We'll put together an entire idea, a plan, a system to put you in place. Now, you're going to tell me, someone's going to come on here and say, Phil, what if my credit's not great? Well, the last thing I'm going to tell you is this. There's programs to help build your credit up really, really, really quickly. And these mortgage lenders I shared with you can actually do that for you. So get with me, get with them. Let's put a plan together and let's get you out of the renting world into the buying world because it simply costs less. I love you. I'm Phil Gertis with Phil and Victoria Gertis of Long & Foster Real Estate, Christie's International, and I'm excited about next week where we do another Facebook Live Friday. See you later. Adios. Goodbye.